You are replaceable. That's the bottom line, and I think that's something I really want to deepen into is we are all completely replaceable. And that's something that hits such a core of the ego, because really what we then come back into is, well, then what's my value? What is my value as a person? I want to begin to break down for you how we as human beings can understand that because we are replaceable, that's what gives us our value. Why? Firstly, let me drop into a story of how I understood that people are replaceable even when it's an absolute ego death. When I was younger, I had never experienced death, and many of us, we have that moment where we come across it for the first time. And when I entered into death in my life, it happened in so many different ways with so many core people that I was just completely shocked. It was my best friend, it was my mom, and it was my sister, all within the space of 1 year. My boyfriend as well at the time, we'd been together for 8 years, broke up with me as well. And all these people who I had believed my whole life were irreplaceable. Like, they were everything. They were my world. They made my construct. They made my belief systems. They gave me my purpose. They gave me my vision. They were my family. They were my social life. They were my lovers. All these people that were so core to me just disappeared within the space of about 12 months. And although I was completely shattered, and I was like, oh my God, these irreplaceable people have left. Do you know what happened? Life continued onwards. Life kept happening. And I lived for years in such a resistance, like, they're irreplaceable. I will never be able to be okay without them. I'm never gonna love the way I love them. I'm never, but you know what? That was my own limit. That was my own limit. And when I started to realize that life gives and takes away, that death is as much a part of life as life is a part of death, that there's a symbiosis of energy, I started to recognize that every human being is unique. Every single human being brings value, but every single person is going to leave, whether it's through an ego death where you separate or a physical death where they part. And I learned that with my partner with an ego death where our relationship died and he left me. And I recognized that with my best friend, my mom, and my sister when they physically died. And yet, in the process of those deaths, new life came. So this is where I want to take us back to understanding that we are replaceable, not because there will ever be your mom again, or your first boyfriend again, or your family member again, but that life will replace energy into our fields in the form of people, experiences of love, if we allow it. And when we as human beings can understand that we're not going to be here forever, so thank God we are replaceable. Because if we were all irreplaceable, we would live in a very empty world, whereas in fact this world is filled with recycling souls coming in and out on a secondly basis. You start to understand your value. And your value as a person isn't your irreplaceability. Your value as a person is that you offer a specific window and portal of opportunity to the human beings in front of you. This was something that you begin to understand when you deepen into understanding life and death, not as good and bad, a trauma, a loss, a pain, and yes, we go through the full spectrum of human emotions with death, whether it's through an ego or through a death, physical death. But it's that life is here to open up new windows of opportunity. There are 8.5 billion souls on this planet. 8.5 billion souls on this planet. And every single soul has a key and a code that when you come across them will unlock something in you and you will unlock something in them. They are a window of opportunity. And what I want you to begin to realize in your journey of higher consciousness, evolving, healing, living is, one, don't be afraid of death. It's an inevitability. It's a God-given rite of passage. And while you are alive, your value that you offer is the window and the portal within you. Inside you is a portal of energy that has codes, memories, ideas, thoughts, experiences, lived effect that accumulate into a unique signature that you are holding, that you are carrying as a being. Now that is your value. Your value is that you're gonna go, and right now, standing in front of the person that you're standing in front of, you offer that window of opportunity. Most of us human beings do not see our own intrinsic value. We believe we need to build everything else to have value. No. You are the value. You are the portal. You are the window. And you're not going to be here forever. And that makes you valuable. Desirability, inevitability of closing, the knowing that it is a once in a lifetime opportunity, a once in a moment opportunity, a window in time where your space is open for someone else creates your value. So the fact that you are replaceable, the fact that you are going to leave and there's going to be another soul that comes in, that there are going to be shifts, creates your value because right here, right now, there is a window of opportunity. There's a space in time. There is a limited edition of where they get to access your portal. And in that, you are able to begin to get super clear with what your portal offers those in front of you. Understanding your value is knowing, hey, inside me, there is a step-by-step. There are methods. There is a journey. There is a knowledge. There is a wisdom. There is a passion in me that I can direct others through. And that's where you can then create the space, the window, and say, hey, I completely detach from the outcome. There are billions of humans out here who will offer you value, who will give you your desires, and yet we are here now. And my portal holds this value, and I believe that's why I'm here with you. Are you willing to invest into yourself through me as a window of opportunity, in this window of opportunity, for your expansion? You create value by understanding what your value is, by humbling yourself to the fact that you are not the be-all and end-all. It creates desire and it creates investment. Human beings invest. They invest their time, their money, their connection into you then. And at that point, the way that you sharpen and deepen your value in your life and what you're doing is that when someone invests into you, you recognize they're investing into themselves through your window. And so in that process, you are able to, 1, detach from the outcome, 2, release responsibility. You are not responsible for other people's lives. And 3, gain clarity and purity of who you are and not take anything personally. Human beings are going to come into your life. They're going to recognize the value within you. They're going to desire that value within themselves, and they're going to go through your portal. When they go through that portal, they're going to go through their triggers. They're going to go through all of their stuff. And you sharpen and deepen your value when you take the choice to not take it personally, to allow yourself to be pure, to allow yourself to come into your truth and right standing, and to know this is a window of opportunity for all of us to grow and level together. We are unique beings, and we are all replaceable in the most humbling way possible. When you recognize that, you're going to be able to open space for humans and enter into spaces with humans that give you a unique wave that you can elevate and choose to go into. And ultimately, the most powerful thing we have in our human experience is the power of choice. When we know our value and we recognize the inevitability of life with detachment of our pain and suffering, our fear and desire, just as truth, we're able to step into our power, and we're able to then increase and multiply what we're desiring. And we're able to know value when we see it looking opposite us in the mirror.